Hey everybody, today is What is Up with Shakeology Wednesday, and I want to, before I say anything about Shakeology, I want to share some information just about nutrition in general because it is important to know. And I want to encourage every single one of you not to tune this out. And this is why. One, if you are drinking Shakeology, you should really know the details about what you're actually drinking. So often, I was one of these. We just kind of trust someone and we go with it. But you need to know the details. Number two, if you're not, that's fine. That's your choice. But I want to make sure that you know the details about this. And above all, I just think I have some super interesting information in regards to nutrition and our health that I think is going to benefit you, and I want to share that with you. So at the end of this, I would love to hear your takeaways from this. But first of all, I got some notes here in front of me just to make sure that I don't forget what I want to say. But this is so interesting. So did you know that with whole food diets, so clean eating, we're aiming for whole foods, not processed and all that kind of stuff. 56% of people who eat whole food diets, when tested, were still nutrient deficient. Such an interesting piece of information. So even people who ate 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day may not get enough certain vitamins for optimal health. And you might be like, well, why not? There's all sorts of reasoning behind this, but one of it is, one of them is the condition of our soils now and how it's deteriorated over time and all sorts of things like that. But this nutrient deficiency causes an 80% increase in likelihood of being overweight and obese. And it's significantly linked to higher risks of infection, cancer, osteoporosis, birth defects, cardiovascular disease, etc. So first of all, I just think that is an interesting, when I first heard that, I was like, no way, that is so interesting. So there is really no such thing as bad fitness. Like, there's all sorts of different fitness programs, and they can target different things. And, at Beachbody, we think our fitness programs are pretty spectacular. But in reality, there's no such thing as bad fitness. But there is definitely such thing as bad nutrition. There is such thing as diets or plans that do not give your body what your body needs and craves, and isn't focused on the full health of your body. It's more focused on getting you to lose weight or whatever. So first of all, I wanted to share with you, when I started this whole process, it'll be May 27th will mark 3 years since day one of my first 21-day fix around as a challenger. I became a coach July 1st of whatever that year was, 2014. And when I was first I got this information about 21-day fix and Shakeology, I'd never, the closest, which is not close at all, closest thing that I could even compare that I'd experienced in my life was Slim Fast. And I was just in the grocery store and read that container and blah. So, talk about ingredients. So anyway, I just had no frame of comparison. I really didn't want to be on something that was a diety type thing that just didn't make me feel good. I did not want to fall into that continuous kind of cycle of dieting that so many of us know and experience. So my goal today, as I've become a coach and learned more and my mind has kind of just been blown. And I really think that having knowledge is power, right? So first of all, I want to just differentiate. Shakeology is not a protein shake. So oftentimes people will be like, oh, I already drank a protein shake, or they'll call it my protein shake. But this is not just protein. So most people are not protein deficient. They are nutrient deficient, and this is a nutrient-rich, dense-rich shake. 70 plus superfoods in it, okay? So it is a meal replacement shake. A protein shake is not a meal replacement shake. It's not giving you kind of all that you need. I'm not dissing protein shakes, by the way, but this is not one. And that's an important thing to know. It's also, and some of you are going to go, oh, what? This is not for weight loss. Weight loss is a byproduct of good nutrition. And it is important to know that, yes, part of this is to help people lose weight, but in reality, it is to help people be healthier. So the goal of this shake ultimately is a healthier human being. And there are lots of skinny people who need to be healthier. There are lots of people who have kind of reached their goal weight, but still we want to be pouring into our bodies with great kind of liquid gold, right? One thing I want to share with you that I thought was so interesting when I learned more about Shakeology was kind of the typical diet cycle that I think a lot of us, if you're in this group, some of you, this is not going to be your experience, but I think a lot of us, it probably is. Tell me if this starts to sound familiar. You want to lose weight and you start to kind of go through the process of cutting calories and watching your calories or counting your points or whatever it is that you have done in the past. And about 10 to 14 days in, you start to feel grumpy, might even be earlier than that, mental fogginess kicks in, you're irritable, you're kind of sluggish and tired. Well, what is kicking in at that point is nutrient deficiency. It is almost impossible to cut calories without cutting nutrients. And then that leads us oftentimes to failure in the sense of our body is screaming for nutrients. It's, the cravings, the fatigue. We're trying to do more with less nutrition. And so that is where Shakeology comes in and fills in those gaps. It doesn't mean that it's an easy process, because anything worth doing and that we really need to do is usually challenging. So don't think that I'm saying that it makes everything all hunky-dory all the time. We're still fighting our mind and all that kind of stuff, but it is filling in gaps. 70 plus superfoods. If you look at the back of the bag or an ingredients list, it's kind of amazing. And so that is a huge help. It's helpful for the sugar cravings, and really kind of, cravings often are a sign that our body is needing something, or, a sugar addiction, which most of us probably have or have struggled with. But I lost my train of thought. So anyway, super, there is some value. You're getting, I think they say like 5 trips to the salad bar in one serving. So it's just important to know this kind of information, and the fact that it's actually true. One of the top 3 benefits of superfoods, if you've been with me at all, you've heard me say this because I just think it's amazing, and I've experienced this in my own life. The first is the strengthening of your immune system. I have been sick so much less, and I've also found that when I start to get sick, my body fights it off so much quicker. The duration is shorter, but there's adaptogens and phytonutrients and things that fight that and strengthen your immune system, which is huge. Also, those superfood benefits of repairing and restoring the GI system. Did you know that 80% of people are not regular? There's lots of poop problems going out there in our country. And so your digestion is improving. For some people, the first few weeks of being on Shakeology, their digestive system is like, what is going on? I've gotten some messages that's like, I have the worst gas. You're not abnormal if that happens. Usually it kind of regulates, but helps us to absorb those nutrients, be more regular, repairing and restoring our digestive system. If you think about it, we're feeding our body with stuff that's not toxins and stuff that's not necessarily meant to go in our body. I mean, I'm not speaking from scientific knowledge, but just imagine what that can do. And here's the one that I love the most. Superfood benefits, reducing chronic inflammation. Did you know chronic inflammation is the #1 cause of nearly every disease? Da-da-da! So the reduction of chronic inflammation. Now, Shakeology is not magic. It is not a magic pill. And that's an important thing to distinguish here. It is not going to solve all of your problems. But it is pretty amazing the number of people who, have had blood pressure issues, cholesterol, all sorts of things, and they're on medications. And the longer that they're on this, very often, the longer they're drinking Shakeology, there are so many instances, and I have several challengers for whom this is true, are able to cut back their medication or go down to no medication. So this is just something to know. But Shakeology, people talk about better energy, better hair, skin, and nails, all these kinds of things, and those are great. But I think even thinking of even deeper within ourselves, the overall health and the potential for longevity. Again, not a magic pill. It's not that you can't make progress without it. This is not a sales pitch. I think it's so important to be knowledgeable and to understand. And so the first time I learned a lot of this information, that was where I was like, why am I not sharing this with my family? I want my children, like, especially when my kids go back to preschool, it's like, all right, pump them full of Shakeology, because, you know, there's so many germs, or, you know, depending on the stage of life, and my husband's in school right now, so we're kind of cutting corners here and there. But one of the things, we took a little while of like, he wasn't drinking it so much, and I was like, you know what, you need to be healthy. We need to do the most that we can to keep you healthy. So I want to share this with you because I think it's important to understand fully, and it's exciting. It's cool what we can do for our bodies. So here's what it does not have in it. And this is where, you know what, if you've drank other things, or a lot of protein shakes have a lot of soy, soy filler, things like that. More and more we're hearing kind of icky things about soy, especially, you know, we want the organic, like tofu and things like that, as non-GMO, and that's good. But anyway, soy, a lot of shakes and other types of things that people want to compare with Shakeology. Soy is a highly profitable filler because it's cheap, but soy is associated with affecting the thyroid, mental cognition, reproduction, lower immune system. I'm not telling you to never have soy products, but I'm just wanting to inform you. I was informed when I learned this. Artificial sweeteners. Yikes! There's artificial sweeteners and flavors that are not allowed in other countries that people use in this country. And if you go and look at other products, other, you know, even protein shakes, things like that, just be on the lookout for anything. This is your boxed foods, all of those kinds of things, the candy and the drinks that we feed our kids, stuff like that. So artificial sweeteners actually stimulate the appetite. So things like, you know, I used to drink Crystal Light like crazy because I knew it was 0 calories. But artificial sweeteners actually stimulate our appetite. They can increase our carb cravings. They can increase fat storage, and our carcinogens, I believe, and that's like, and then artificial flavors directly linked to ADD, causing and worsening asthma, headaches, thyroid issues. So what I want you to know is this is stuff that we see in our foods every day, and you know, shakes and diet things that are out there. None of these things are in Shakeology, and you need to know that. Again, not a sales pitch. Helping you to understand and congratulate you for what you are putting into your body. This is a wonderful thing. So, benefits, you know, you don't need me to tell you that something easy and fast is great, because we don't want to go through the McDonald's drive-thru because we're pumping our body full of crap. Or, you know, even grabbing the granola bar that seems like a good choice but has a ton of sugar. There are some choices out there that are better than others, but generally, you know, if it's a packaged snack, it's often not a good choice. Not always, but often. So we've got this whole food meal replacement in one. It's like 5 plates of salad as far as the nutrition is concerned, covering our basic nutritional needs for the day, so you feel better, so you have the energy, your body recovers better from those workouts, from, you know, fatigue and things like that, less cravings, and our body has the ability to repair itself faster when we're sick, when we've, you know, doing the workouts and things like that, and the byproduct of great nutrition is weight loss. So, beautiful thing, it's flexible in calories. I've had a couple challengers who have needed to gain weight, and so it's been great because they're still getting the nutrients, but they can put, you know, things, healthy fats like avocado or higher fat, you know, yogurt or whatever into it, and so that's just a good thing to know. Now, some of you are like, okay, that's all cool, how the heck do I make it? Real quick, last little thing I'm going to share with you is that everybody is different, and that's the important thing to know. If you are a new Shakeology user, anywhere from, you know, 8 to 10 ounces is typical of water. I add crushed ice to mine. Some people don't, and I would highly recommend using a blender. Some people like it shaken up. It's way better, in my opinion, blended with ice and the liquid. But again, you may feel differently. I use my immersion blender because I'm lazy and I don't want to clean a regular blender, and I don't have one of those fancy schmancy awesome ones that cleans itself. That's on my wish list for down the road. So anyway, 8 to 10 ounces of liquid. I have a friend who uses like 18 to 20 ounces because that's what she likes. And then, you know, water, unsweetened almond milk. You can use regular milk, but regular milk is going to have more naturally occurring sugar from the lactose. So I tend to, if I want it to be creamier, I'll use unsweetened almond milk. And then, you know, oftentimes 1 purple's worth of fruit is a great, and I often use a container of greens like spinach because I can't taste it. So it's just an easy way to get one of my veggie servings in for the day on top of everything else that I'm getting there. So totally up to you. You're going to find your own way of doing it. Keep in mind, I had somebody who was like, oh man, yeah, I put a tablespoon of peanut butter in. And I was like, ooh, that sounds great. But remember that for like the container system, you probably get 2 or 3 teaspoons a day, and 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. So just be conscious there of how much of your nut butter you're putting in there. But this is great. You know, replace 1 meal a day with it. Awesome. And you can use it as a snack. It can be like if you're having one of those evenings where it's like, I'm going to eat the house and I need something sweet. Great time to use your Shakeology because it's going to give you a much better choice, and much better to have an extra serving of Shakeology or an extra red or whatever than to go face first into, you know, the ice cream tub or something like that. People have made frozen desserts from them. You can make little Shakeology balls that are kind of like little cookie dough bites and fun things like that. So I wanted you to know that. Please don't be afraid to ask questions if you're having trouble finding a way that you like it. Talk to your coach, because it's very, very rare that I have someone who can't figure it out. It's sometimes people are like, man, this is amazing. And sometimes it's like they just have to find the right concoction that works for them. So I wanted you to be informed. Please share below. What's your biggest takeaway? What kind of blew your mind? What was interesting to you? What questions do you have? And happy day 3. Tomorrow we're doing something else and I can't remember what it is. So we move on. Have a wonderful day.